Hey lambs, Ky here, back with another Ky Rants. Like I said yesterday, I do have an update on Ky Rants that I will tell you at the end of this episode. Before we begin, I want to remind you that Ky Rants is sponsored by My Lamb Patreon, patreon.com/love and murder if you want to be a sponsor of Ky Rants and Love and Murder on a whole. So let's get into today's rant. Do you remember yesterday when I put out an episode about a guy who inherited $30 million and he was going to break up with his girlfriend of 10 years or almost 10 years. And instead she poisoned him with antifreeze and, he died. Then she tried to get his money. If you didn't hear it, go back and listen to yesterday's Ky Rants. But that was basically the gist of it. So this one is an extension of that with the update just dropping yesterday. So we're coming to find out that this was all a scam. Basically, Steven's son, Ryan, came out and said that his father was the victim to a supposed lawyer claiming, quote, a distant relative left him millions. But when Steven showed up at the airport to collect his inheritance, quote unquote, no one was there and he never got paid. Quote, he wasn't suspicious before he went to the airport, but he was convinced he had inherited the money and he was going to receive it when the supposed lawyer landed. He planned on getting acres of land, giving me and some of my brothers a chunk, then opening his own auto shop. But the supposed lawyer never showed up. It was a scam. It was a stranger who managed to trick my dad into believing it was true, unfortunately. I wonder what was the end game to this. Did he maybe ask Steven for money? Okay, if you have to pay me $200 in order for us to be able to meet, or you have to pay for my plane ticket or something. I'm wondering if that's what it was. He also disclosed that the reason that Steven was leaving Thea was because he hadn't been happy in the relationship for a long time and he had already planned to leave. Quote, they weren't too happy, and my dad wanted to leave her for a while now. She was extremely lazy and never did anything. And I can believe that because remember I said you just figured that you were common law married and you would get the inheritance. You didn't even do research to find out what kind of state you lived in. Now, this guy has 5 sons. The son we're talking to now, Ryan, is actually 21, but he has 4 brothers. So she was going to take his money, well, part of his money, whatever part she thought she was going to get. I'm pretty sure since she was that dense, she thought she was going to get half. She thought she was going to get half, so $15 million, and she was going to share it with her son. And I know she wasn't planning on sharing it with his children at all. 5 sons with families of their own. And she killed him and took it and was going to give it to her son. Allegedly. So anyways, like I was saying, he said she was lazy and everything like that. Quote, she just never worked and was leeching off of him. She was extremely lazy and never did anything. My dad was a very caring person and would go out of his way to help those around him. And she even went on to tell officers that she was basically pissed off that Steven planned to leave her and take his inheritance money with him. I guess she figured that she was owed some of that money since she was with him for 10 years. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you were with him for 20 years. It's his money. If he didn't feel like he was going to give you some, then you're not owed anything. Go make your own money. So she went ahead and did all of this and is in jail. It wasn't even real. It was just even if it was real, it's still no reason. But I wonder how she feels now. You know what? The fact that she could cold-bloodedly murder somebody, I don't think she cares. I really don't think she cares. She'll probably cry and say, oh, what have I done? What have I done? But it shouldn't have been done in the first place. But anyway, yeah, it was all a hoax. That is insane. So when Ryan, who was in the military, took leave and went from Texas to North Dakota to see what was going on, find out what happened with his dad, he went home to see what was going on. He says, quote, it was very nasty conditions. Dog waste almost everywhere. Dirty clothes scattered all over the house. Trash everywhere. Nothing there was clean. Now, Thea had previously written about Steven on Facebook. And some of the Facebook posts that the Post put up, the Post.com put up, was, quote, "I hope you get what you deserve, you effer." And she has a picture of him there. And that was in 2021 that she did that. And in recent years, she has had many posts saying stuff like that. There's another photo with a caption saying, quote, "Watch out for this man. He'll bleed you dry and spit you out." Another post said, "I wish I was worried about this man." I can see why he was ready to get rid of her. You know, this is crazy. And she's put in all their information on blast online. Just crazy. Anyway, like I said, she is still in prison. Like I said yesterday, she is still in prison because this is just an update from yesterday. And she is scheduled for her preliminary hearing still on December 7th. And still, as of now, it looks like she will be representing herself. So all of this, and it was just a scam. He was being scammed. I mean, apparently he was being scammed by her too. So sorry to the Riley family. Sorry for your loss and sorry for everything that's going on right now. And that's all I have for today's Ky Rants. So the update I was going to give for Ky Rants is moving forward, I'm just going to put Ky Rants on Patreon. So they will be getting their daily Ky Rants. And I will go back to the schedule of full Love and Murder episode on Sundays. And Wednesdays, you'll get your midweek mini. Now, although a lot of you love your Ky Rant segment, there are some of you that did ruin it for everybody else. You all know that I do say a lot that true crime can affect one's mental health. And being a true crime podcaster, I have to do all this research, see all the pictures, blah, blah, blah. It does affect my mental health. And I am not one for, the negativity online, which you're going to get. There's some I could take and some I can't. But the one episode I did last week, I believe, Monday or Tuesday or something like that, on the case of Ellen Greenberg, the comments that I got from that just really kind of annoyed me. And when I'm supposed to be getting other episodes together, keeping my mental peace and everything together, I was annoyed for a couple days. I even recorded a response to some of the comments, but I deleted it because it was a really pissed off, like I was pissy on there and I wasn't going to put that out. But I am going to address those comments tomorrow when I talk about, when I respond to your comments as I do by week. So I think a lot of people misunderstood the point of why I put out the episode the way I did, because I could have gone back, scrapped it and redone it, but I didn't. And I explained the point in the episode, but, I'll continue into the explanation tomorrow. But the people in my Patreon, they understand. I guess, you join Patreon because you do understand the person. You follow the person. You're a fan of the person. And they more understood and or listened to the episode. And it's more friendly and open and welcoming in my Patreon. And that's the kind of mental space that I want to stay in. And that's the kind of space that I will continue to stay in. Not that it's not friendly out here. For the most part, it is. But more than one person, I think it was like 2 or 3 people had something to say about this episode. And usually I deal with maybe only one negative comment in, I don't even know, a month or so. But 2 or 3 for one episode, it really affected me for a couple days. So when I say it's more peaceful in Patreon, I mean, you don't get those kind of comments. And even if I do get quote unquote negative comments, it's more understanding and coming from a place of like, they understand what I'm saying. They say it more gently or in a funny way or whatever. It's not like, oh, you suck. It's never like that. So that's why I mean more peaceful over in my Patreon. All the rest of the lambs out here who's not in my Patreon, you all are very peaceful out here too. It's just these couple people who basically ruined it for y'all when it comes to Ky Rants. And I'm not going to deal with it. So Ky Rants is going in Patreon, and I hope you will join me over there in Patreon as well. Now, I love Ky Rants. I love doing Ky Rants. With Ky Rants, it's usually more current cases. So things change like that. Like, for instance, when I put out this episode yesterday, about the $30 million inheritance, by yesterday night, it came out that it was a scam. And I was like, okay, well, I'll record that tomorrow. I'm not going to come on and do another recording today. So with Ky Rants, stuff changes really quickly. And most people understand that. A lot of people with the case of Ellen Greenberg did listen to the full episode and didn't come at me. The few that did, I'm totally not going to have it. So I think I'm going to put it behind the paywall. The good news is it's going to be at the $3 tier. So you're going to get even more bang for your buck. So not only do you get commercial-free and intro-free episodes of the full episode and all the extras, so like the pictures of the crime scene, pictures of the evidence, if there's any videos of the police interrogation, any videos of the court hearing, you get all of that already for $3 a month. But not only that, but you get Ky Rants now for $3 a month. So it's more bang for your buck. And like I said, I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of 2024. So I was already thinking about making Patreon into a whole other podcast. So I think this will help it out. So that's what's going to happen moving forward. So today is your last Ky Rants. Well, it's going to be for your midweek mini. I'm going to do a Ky Rants, but we'll just take it from there. That's going to be on your Wednesdays. But your daily Ky Rants will now be behind Patreon. So if you want to go to Patreon and subscribe for $3 a month donation, you'll get Ky Rants and everything else that I mentioned. If you want to go above like $5 a month, you get one extra bonus episode plus everything I mentioned. And if you want to do more, then you get more. So the $10 a month is you get 2 to 3 bonuses, and the $25 is you get producer title and everything that I mentioned. So if you want to join me over on Patreon, if you just want to do the $3 a month donation, that's absolutely fine. I will welcome anything that you're able to donate because this is what I do for a living. So anything you're able to donate is good for me. Patreon.com/love and murder. So that's all I have for you today. Tomorrow, I will be posting my responses to your comments. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts about this case or about Ky Rants or anything like that in the comments below. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.